groups, I always ask them, number one, your identity, who are you? Number two, your vision, where you're going. And number three, your goals, how are you going to get there? Number one, your identity, who are you? Number two, your vision, where you're going. Number three, your goals, how are you getting there? Does anybody know who Bishop T.D. Jakes is? The preacher? Okay. Really?
Yes.
All right. We're going to talk about that in the session. So he was telling a story when he was in South Africa, right? He was on a safari, but he had stopped at like some Nike factory, right? So he's walking through the Nike factory. He's got like some representatives with him, and they're telling him all about Nike. They're like, yeah, we were founded here, and we did this, and Nike does this, and Nike does this, and we gross this much, and blah, 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 blah. And he was amazed. He's like, wow, they know so much about Nike. And he asked them, he was like, how do y'all have all this information? And they looked at him, and they were like, when you know who you are, you know who you are not. All right? When you know who you are, you know who you are not. So young people, as y'all continue to grow, develop, and progress, understand that you have to identify who you are. You have to be confident in who you are, in your uniqueness, in dressing different, in thinking different, and having different beliefs. And that's totally okay. And what y'all are growing up in now, like the amount of influence that y'all have compared to what we had when I was coming up, doesn't even compare. From social media, to the communities, to the TV, to the radio, y'all are just being bombarded with a lot, which can sometimes throw off people's identities. So what we're going to do very quickly, raise your hand if you feel like you know who you are. All right, we're going to go around the room. Tell us who you are. Somebody can just start anywhere. Loudly and proudly, who are you? Go ahead.
Name?
Yeah, I mean, just tell us who you are. Whatever you feel that means. Who are you?
You are one unique.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Next.
Ryan, I'm cool, funny, I play basketball.
Identity, who are you? Who are you? Who's next? Who's next?
I'm a freshman in high school. I'm athletic, boxer. I like music.
Okay. Anybody else? There's somebody in here who wants to speak, I know, but they're kind of scared to do it because they don't want to get laughed at or something like that.
Not really name.
Huh? You going?
Yeah, I got you. My name Fidelis. I'm 15. I go to Mary Franklin. I like to play football.
Okay.
My name is Vincent. I go to South. I play music and basketball. I'm playing high school next year. I ain't play this year. I skipped it and played football. My sophomore year.
All right. Anybody else? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I feel like you want to go.
My name is Samar, 14. I go to South, and I like to play football.
Do y'all notice something? So I have this series that I'm doing. We got like 2 more sessions left. I do a different topic each month. I host them at my church, and it's just on different topics. So last month was establishing an identity. And I made this point. It's like a lot of times our identity is tied into what we do. So when I asked y'all who you guys were, y'all didn't really tell me anything about what you like, what's your favorite color, where you've been, what kind of person are you? Are you a child of God? Who do you feel that you are to your core? Y'all kind of told me just things that y'all do.
I said I'm unique.
You did.
I said I like music a lot.
Okay.
I said I'm a football player.
Okay. But here's the thing, and this is what happens, and I've seen this happen with a lot of my friends. When we tie our identity like so much into what we do, if it's stripped away from us, then we don't know who we are. You get what I'm saying? Like, tons of people that I went to school with thought they were like going to the league, and once that didn't happen, they were out here lost. because their identity was so tied into the sport. And I know there's more that makes up each and every one of you guys in this room. And some of you may not want to speak, or may not be comfortable speaking on it, but understand that you're going to have to be comfortable in living in who you really are. I'm not talking about the front that we put on the people on social media or at school or whatever, but I'm saying who you really are to your core. Knowing that person is going to set you apart. Because essentially that's making you a leader. And the leaders are in the minority. Like the majority of the people that y'all gonna come across in life or that y'all may see at your school are trying to be like everybody else. But when you know who you are, like Bishop Jake said when he was on that safari, you know who you are not. So number one, identify your identity. Be confident in who you are. God created each and every one of you different, unique, with different talents, skills, likes, desires, habits. Be comfortable in that person. Y'all feel me? Say I feel you, Nate.
I feel you, Nate.
Say I feel you, Nate.
I call you Nate Robinson.
No.
Nate Dog.
Nate dog.
Nate Dog.
So we went over what? What's the first thing we talked about?
Identity.
Okay, the second thing, which is a V, is what?
Vision.
Vision. Where are you going? There's scripture in the Bible that says, without vision, the people shall perish. Okay? Without vision, the people shall perish. So essentially, and you can interpret that however you want to interpret it. Essentially, what it means, if you don't have a vision for your life, if you don't have anything that you're working towards, your life is basically going to diminish and you may not mean anything. You may not do anything significant in this world. If you want to do something meaningful in your life, raise your hand. Hands down. If you want to leave a legacy for your kids and for your family when you're long gone, raise your hand. Hands down. If you want to make a lot of money, raise your hand. Hands down. If you want to contribute to the community, give back and uplift other people, raise your hand for me. Hands down. Your vision is what you want in the future. So everything that you're doing now is going to affect your future. Everything you did in the past is the reality that you're living in now. So all the decisions that you guys make right now impact your future. And it's not too early for you guys to really start dialing in and really start figuring out what it is that y'all want to do, what you want to be, where you want to go, what you want to see, how you want your family to look. Y'all have to figure those things out. I'm sure y'all personally know people who have no vision in their life and who may have never had vision in their life. I know for a fact y'all probably do. And y'all like, that person, I do not want to be like that person. I do not want to live that kind of life. And y'all don't have to. Just because mama did it, just because daddy did it, just because big bro went that route, just because cousin went that route, doesn't mean that I have to do the same thing. But also be conscious of this. When y'all do choose to have a vision for your life, and stay with me, when y'all do choose to have a vision for your life, if it's different from what everybody else is doing, people are going to talk about you. Some of your family may not support you. Some of your friends may not support you. You may get clowned because it's different. But if you continue believing in whatever that vision is, if you continue working towards it, if you have faith in yourself, faith in God, faith in whatever it is that you believe in, the vision will become your reality. That's just a fact. It will become your reality. But it all depends on what y'all believe. Now, that leads me into the next point. What I say we would be talking about after vision. Goals, absolutely. Number one is your identity, which is who you are, right?
Yep.
Number two is your vision, which is what?
Where you're going.
Where you're going. Number three is what?
Goals. Where you're headed.
How you're getting there, right? So what I brought with me, and I'm going to give you guys my personal information so y'all can reach out to me if you can. Go to Dollar Tree, get a journal it's $1. If you need help getting one, I'll give y'all my information. I'll help buy you one. Write down what it is that you want to accomplish. Write it down and be specific about what it is that you want. In this goal journal of mine, I'm very, very, very specific about what it is that I want. And almost everything in here has gotten checked off. because you're able to look at it every single day, whether it's making a sports team, whether it's getting a job, whether it's going to college, whether it's buying mom, I don't know, groceries, some new shoes, whatever your goals are, write it down. Y'all may think it's crazy, y'all may think it's corny. It works, I promise you. If I would have had this concept when I was in y'all's age bracket, when I was in high school, a freshman, I would probably be a millionaire by now, no lie. Real talk. Because it works. Y'all know what vision boards are, right? They work. It gives you something to work towards. If you're not writing it down, how are you keeping track of whether or not you're achieving? Are you just going off of memory? You can use the notes in your phone. You got a phone? If you got a phone, raise your hand. Yeah. You can just use the notes in your phone if you need to. But you gotta set goals. You have to set goals. If you don't set goals, you have no direction for your life. All of these things go hand in hand. Identity, vision, goals. Because it's like I can have a vision for my future, but if I'm not actively working to make that vision a reality, which is the goal part of it, it's never going to become a reality. It never will. It'll simply remain a dream, a vision, something that's far off in the future. One of the biggest things, and I'm not trying to brag to you guys, one of the biggest things that sets me apart from a lot of my friends and the people who I came out of school with is the goals that I set for myself. And every single year, the goals that I've set for myself, I have accomplished, whether it's working with HBCUs, working with a PWI, which is a predominantly white college, or working at my old high school, speaking at a college grad, whatever it is, has came to fruition, which means it became a reality simply because I wrote it down and worked diligently to make it a reality. Now, because all of this is a cycle, all of these things are domino effects. We have identity, vision, goals. What's the last thing I said I'm gonna talk to you about? Did I tell you?
No.
It's habits. Habits. Okay? Your habits are going to be determined by the people that you hang around, the conversations that you have, the music you listen to, the things that you watch. I believe, I read it, it's like up to 95% of your success and failure in life can be determined by the friends that you have. 95%. So that's the difference between you working, having your own company, being a millionaire, and you doing something that you hate on a daily basis. The friends that you keep around. And one of the hardest things for us to do as human beings is cut friends off. Is cut people that we love off, right? Raise your hand if you've ever had to cut somebody off because they weren't healthy for you. It could be a girl, a boy, a family member, somebody. You had to cut them off. So y'all seen the negative. What about on the opposite end of the spectrum? Have y'all ever had to get closer to somebody because y'all like, this person is going to definitely help me, like push me to do the right thing, to make good decisions? Your habits, what you do on a daily basis, all affects how you can achieve your goals and if you can achieve your goals. The friends you have, the conversations you have, the things you watch, the music you listen to, it's all influencing you. I'm gonna give you another statistic. Between 50 and 250,000 people. Between 50 and 250,000 people. That's the amount of people you will be influenced by on a daily, not a daily basis, but throughout your lifetime. And that's just from daily interactions. Like from going to Kroger's, meeting people, shaking somebody's hand, going to different events, being at school. Between 50 and 250,000, that's in a lifetime. But that's also could be the amount of people that you influence. If y'all want to be influential people, that's often the amount of people y'all can influence. Y'all can triple that, y'all can double it, you can do whatever you want with it. It's all about what you guys believe. It's what you read. I'm going to read you guys an excerpt out of one of my favorite books. And I want you guys to tell me what it means to you all. What's this book called?
Think like a man.
But y'all need to stop from and I'm too far.
It's a religion.
Yeah. What does it say, my man? What's the name of this book? Amari? As a man thinketh. I'm going to read a little excerpt from the book, and I want you guys to just tell me what y'all think it means. Okay, this is a good one. Dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. I'm going to read it to you one more time and then tell me what y'all think it means. Dream lofty dreams, and as you dream, so shall you become. Your vision is the promise of what you shall one day be. Your ideal is the prophecy of what you shall at last unveil. What does that mean? Yep.
Dream big and make it a reality.
Clap it up for my man. He said, repeat it one more time for me loudly.
Dream big and make it a reality.
He said, dream big and make it a reality. Clap it up one more time for that, please. What else did y'all take from that? What else did y'all take from it?
You can be what you want if you just like dream and like work on it, take it serious.
Basically have a vision.
Okay. Clap it up for Imari, please, fellas. Thank you, sir. Somebody else. Give me two more. What did y'all take from that? Yes, sir.
As long as you dream and strive for your goal,
As long as you dream and strive for your goals, you're more than likely to get there. Andrew, right? Clap it up for Andrew. One more person. One more.
don't forget about your dreams. You just gotta stick to them and think about it for the life of what you want.
That's a fact. Say that loudly one more time for me, my man.
Stick to your dreams and keep dreaming.
I just keep looking at
Yes, sir. What's your name, bro?
Marcel.
Marcel? Clap it up for Marcel, fellas. Well, give me a better clap than that, please. Damn. Fellas, what you guys have to realize, if you have a vision, raise your hand. You can be honest. If you don't have a vision for your life yet, it's all good. Okay, put your hands down. That vision that you have, that's a hint, that's a clue at what is going to one day come for your life, okay? And everybody's vision is different. Your vision is going to be different than your mama's, your daddy's, your cousins, your friends. We're all different. We're all unique. So since God gave you that vision, that's a hint, that's a clue, that's a picture of what's one day going to happen for your life. But y'all have to believe it. You have to believe it wholeheartedly, no matter what people tell you. You have to believe it. And I promise you, if you take nothing away from this, just listen to this. If you continue to believe in that vision, whatever it is that your vision is for your life, if you do not stop believing, it will become your reality. Whatever it is that you want is possible. No matter how crazy people may think it is, no matter how unorthodox and different it is, unconventional, it will become a reality. Whatever your vision is that God gave you can become a reality. We got to do the work, though. We got to put in work. We got to set goals. We got to get a notebook or put it in your phone, whatever it is. Have a vision for your life. Your vision doesn't have to be the same vision as what your mother had or what your father had, what your cousin had, what your brother had. Be unique in y'all's visions, believe in it, and it's going to come to pass. Let me get Imari, come here. Jaron, come here. I'm gonna tell you a little story. Then we out of here. Scoot back a little bit, y'all. Scoot back a little bit. Come over here, Marion. Marion, Jaron, get in the middle. Okay, scoot back for me. That way. All right, so I'm the most powerful man in the world, right? Right?
Alright.
I gave Imari, I gave him 5 talents, right? I gave him 5. At birth, when he was born, I gave him 5. Jaron, I gave him 2. Marion, I gave him 1. How many does Imari have?
5.
How many does Jaron have?
2.
How many does Marion have?
1. 5.
5,
2. 1.
Okay, I tell them, you know what? I left you with these talents, with these gifts, with these things to bring to the world. I'm going to go on a trip. I got to go handle some business, but I'll be back. All right? So I leave. I come back, and I say, what did you do with what I left you? Okay, now the person with the 5, he said, I doubled it. I worked on it. I hustled. I crafted it. I gave it to the world. I delivered it, okay? I said, you know what? I'm going to give you more because you did that. I can trust you. I came to Jaron. I said, what did you do with your 2? He said, I doubled it. I crafted it. I gave it to the world. I worked on it. I said, I'm going to give you more because I can trust you. Now, Marion, on the other hand, he had his 1. I said, what did you do with yours? He said, I didn't do anything with it. I buried it. I hid it. I didn't show anybody it. I hid it from people. I stripped his 1 from him, and I ended up splitting it between these 2. Now, the moral of the story is, God gives each and every one of us gifts and talents and things to deliver to the world, right? Our job is to develop it and craft it and work on it and to deliver it. Get it out there. Do not hide it. Because what you don't use, you what? What you don't use, you what? You lose. So those talents and gifts and things that y'all have, that's all a part of your vision. God gave it to you at birth. But your job from this point forward is to craft it, work on it, hide it, and you will get more of it. It will open doors. That's literally in the Word of God. It says your gift will make room. Literally. It's on you guys. And it starts now, fellas. Take advantage of what we have today for y'all. Repeat after me. My life.
My life
Has meaning.
has meaning.
My life
My life
will be a success.
Be a success.
I will not
I will not
be a statistic.
be statistic.
I will
I will
make a difference.
make a difference.
Now clap it up for yourselves, fellas. Thank you. I gotta go. You guys need to fill out.